Yeah, y'all. Let's get this going.
Today, it's the National Football League.
Vikings. Oh, okay. We're facing the nice. Let's go. Oh, Vikings going. Kick it to me. Oh, yeah.
And off we go from Cleveland. Solid return from the position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The first throw, here's Winston. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
Yeah, bitch. Come on.
Off the deflection.
Yeah, boy.
And touchdown, Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, 68 yards. And the Browns are on the board first here this afternoon. Justin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns.
Yeah.
Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Set down to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now Darnold going to take it and just back this one forward to his wideout. And he'll get this out to about the 40. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Darnold. Finds his man. There's Jordan Allison. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try to get us ahead and try to keep us ahead. This is their true response to that first touchdown given up.
2nd down and 3. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Shoves him aside. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. They'll send a receiver in motion left. And now a fake on the jet sweep, and again to Jones.
Yeah, boy.
Able to win one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Darnold completes it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. It's safe to say the passing game is kind of a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
It's early, but that's a key third down conversion. Remember, they forced the turnover on the opening drive. Now they're in a position where they look like they'll at least get 3 out of this.
A great example of complementary football. They're able to cash this in, isn't it, partner? Because defense does its job, takes it away, turns over the offense. He's picked up a nice first down there. Maybe it's time to think about taking a shot in the end zone because it looks like the field goal is on the board.
And his throw is incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters to play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle, no mental mistakes, or starting to look like a good offensive football team.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. They snap it. They're going for it. Here's Darnold. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over.
All right.
Winston now throw on first down. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. They got his man. Complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. Jameis to throw it. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. When he launched that football, I'm guessing he was thinking end zone, but he'll take it. Now they're knocking on the door.
I like the way you can read his thoughts. They keep it from the opposite side of the ball. They thought they had a chance to make a play and knock it away. Didn't get it done. Can they reset now and hold them to a field goal?
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass.
Yeah, boy.
Chubb will get down close to the goal line, but not in. As he'll be marked down at the 1. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Winston sneaking it. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain on the keeper. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'll give it to Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
$14 to nothing.
Extra point.
Boy!
14-0.
Yeah.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But
I
got it.
Oh, one of the linemen on the other side. These guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of on 1st down. 2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he will get enough for a 1st down. And that will lead us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, 1st half. It's 14-0. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. And again, it's Chubb. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. If they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Oh.
And now it's second down, but here's the field goal team out onto the field. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Hopkins' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. If you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp, and at least one practice each week before the game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Back to the air, Darnold on second down. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing here on third down, Darnold. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Meanwhile, Darnold's throw pulled in by Jefferson. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. They'll drop this underneath for Jones. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up second down. Throwing again is Darnold. And his throw here is incomplete. As we thought they might do here, at least in the preseason, they've left their starting out there for the second quarter. I would imagine we will not see them after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
That's to the sideline and pulled in. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 21. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now a timeout signaled for 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt.
Oh, almost had it.
His kick is good.
Yeah.
And they're on the board at least here. It's now
Look at that close, man. Almost there. Great.
Trailing here in the first half. Maybe, Charles, that'll help them get some momentum back. First, the Force fumble.
17-3. That's right.
But down in the game, they came out and created their own opportunity on one side of the ball and did get points out of it, as you mentioned. Complimentary football right there as they try to bring this one back to even.
The Browns are about to get started. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So we come to halftime of what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. Each team now with just one more game after this one, and then we will get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day.
Okay, Burners.
Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 45-yard line. And the Vikings offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive. But get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Pass incomplete. Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They will play action. Here's McCarthy rolling to his left. And he'll get nothing out of that one. There won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Again, running right is Akers. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there was some one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Akers. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that'll be 4th down.
And we constantly talk about people being on the same page. In this situation, the 2 of them saw the play with the same eyes. They understood where the open spaces were going to be, and they got able to get there.
Cleveland offense making their way out. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go, but you can take the spirit away from another team, with their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right down the break, aren't they?
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. They run with 4, and he's going to lose yardage here. By Jay Sanders breaking through and blowing that play up in the backfield.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beat. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're
Hail Mary.
We saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd down, here's Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. This is taken at the 5. A big play that time for Cleveland. 6 yards.
Another big play right there.
Look at that, man.
You can really put the hammer down. You got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
Yeah.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Foreman is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the 3rd quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to tough it up and keep them out of the end zone.
We've played 3 quarters. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Ford is into the end zone.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
What?
And they would not be denied on the ground. Powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
24-3.
Tight ends were on the field because in today's
Maybe
NFL,
like-
I think of a tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you got to be able to run block to stay on this team. But they committed to it and got it done right there.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Looking to throw McCarthy. Caught by the tight end Oliver. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Throwing is McCarthy. Got a man, that's Trent Sherfield. So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Here's McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And they'll work it across midfield inside the 45. No reason not to try it there. They do indeed convert on 4th. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But then trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made it their 1st-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To the air with McCarthy. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time and he's going to go down.
Yes,
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense and kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now McCarthy. He's got this one complete to Sherfield. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. They need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Mike. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. And They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't matter. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now
Yeah,
geared up to
damn
take
right
the
about
field.
that.
Now they are driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. And the defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much. 1st and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. They will start this drive with 4. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets into 2nd and 4. Good game there. Down and keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And getting this just shy of midfield of spot.
Yeah, got that shit.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns at 12. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this whole line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defense in front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They run it on first with Foreman. And taking it across midfield and just shy of 40. 10 more there and another first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. Zip a lower center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
The handoff to Ford up the middle.
Damn.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's over. Yeah. And it's over. Yeah.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter.
There we go.
Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly
Oh, yeah.
exactly
There
right.
you
Whether
go.
it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever.